the amount of records you hold in the NHL record books is truly remarkable.
Unbelievable.
Do you have one that like you means the most to you? Like which of all of your records are you the most proud of, if that's easy?
Well, listen, first of all, hey, it's a pleasure for me to be here on your show. I love you guys, and it's an honor for me to be part of being with you guys for a day. So thank you again very much.
Oh my gosh.
The man.
As you guys know, being a professional athlete is such a thrill. And anytime you get any record, it's a thrill. And it's an honor. And so for me, each and every one felt the same. But if I had one record that I cherish the most, is the record that I think is going to be hardest to break. And that was, I scored 50 goals in 39 games.
Yeah.
And I think for somebody to get 50 goals in 38 games, as you guys know, the athletes get better every year.
Yes.
The equipment's better, the coaching's better, training's better. It's just sports is better today than it was, but that's not knocking what we did back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. 20 years from now, it's going to be better than today. So I'm proud of all my records.
Heck yeah.
50 goals and what is 30?
That is insane.
Oh my gosh.
Did you just feel unstoppable that year? I mean, just everything you sent at the net went in?
So the record was 50 and 50. And then Mike Bossy came along and he tied the record 50 and 50. He scored 2 goals in the last 7 minutes in his 50th game to get 50 and 50.
Epic.
And I remember watching it and seeing his face and the jubilation and the joy he felt. So I was driving to the rink with my roommate, and I had 45 goals in 38 games. And I was a little more edgy than normal heading to the arena. And my buddy turned to me and he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, I just thought of this. If I don't get 50 and 50 now, people are going to say I choked. And so I'm thinking before the game, I'm thinking during the game, I'm like, gosh, I got to get to the 50 and 50 or I'm going to look like a miserable fool. And so
there's no way.
I scored 2 goals. I got 3 goals. And all of a sudden I had 49 goals. And I'm like, all right. And I scored the 50th goal. And my buddy turned to me and said, "Well, I guess you don't have to worry about that 50 anymore."
That's awesome, man. Recently, and Alexander Ovechkin, ironically, just around the same amount of games, just, past you and most career goals ever scored. And it was awesome to see you show that respect and that class to him. When you set that record or at the end of your career in 99, did you ever expect that thing could be touched? It was mind blowing that anybody is even around that realm, man.
No, we all hope not. But listen, so I remember the night I broke Gordie Howe's record, or the night before, I was having dinner with my dad, and I said to my dad, I said, in some ways I'm kind of embarrassed because it's a different era and a different time from when Gordie played, and he was such an icon and he was my idol. In some ways I'm feeling kind of guilty. And I'll never forget my dad saying, "Listen, you just have the same dignity and respect that Gordie Howe has for you because he's truly happy for you. So when somebody breaks your record, you be as classy as Gordie Howe." And I remember I looked at my dad and I said, "Well, can I just enjoy it for a little bit?"
You're already talking about getting broken.
I had so much fun. The NHL took care of my wife and I. We flew up there. We were at the game. I remember saying, "Gosh, they're playing Chicago tonight. He might get 3 tonight. We got to go." He got 2 goals and tied it. My good friend is the assistant coach, Kirk Muller. We went for dinner after the game, and I said, "Why didn't Ovechkin go on the ice in the last minute? You had the empty net. You're one of the coaches. Why didn't you put him out there?" And he said, "We tried to," and he said he didn't want to break the record on an empty net goal. So it shows you the class that he has, which was wonderful. So we got to go to Manhattan. Spent a couple of days there. My son lives in New York, so we spent a few days in Manhattan. Got to see him play on the island. And when he did score the goal, part of me was like, gosh, I was kind of looking forward to going back to Washington. They were playing Thursday that week. It was fun going to hockey games, like no stress, no pressure. We knew eventually he was going to break the record.
Oh, yeah. And
he's just a wonderful young man. And I think that his ownership group, Ted Leonis, and the hockey club and the coaches and his teammates and all the teammates he played with over all his years, he deserves the record, and good for him. He's made so much for hockey in Washington, for the NHL, and of course in his own country, Russia. So I'm proud and privileged that he broke it, and I'm happy that I can say he's a good friend.
Man, that is such a cool story. Just to hear how much class and respect is in the NHL, and you guys have been doing it right. I believe his rookie year, you were the coach of the Coyotes.
Yeah.
and Ovechkin, he scored the goal in 2006. How crazy is that to come full circle?
Somebody asked me the other day, they said, when did you realize that Ovechkin had a chance to break your record? And he said, when I was coaching against, I think his first year.
Really?
He went through the whole team twice and scored on his rear end, on his back. I remember looking around going, what just happened? And not did he beat players, he beat some good players, he beat some NHL guys, and he beat a good goaltender. So, hey, listen, that's what makes sports wonderful, right? When you think, oh my God, can we get any better? Then another guy comes along and you go, wow, that guy's phenomenal. And then every sport's the same, whether it's football or basketball, hockey, baseball. And we just sit back as fans and go, this is wonderful. This is great. We get to watch. We have bleacher seats here, and we get to adore these athletes. Look at Caitlin Clark, how she's kept.
Oh, yeah.
Just taken over the country, and for that matter, maybe the world, and how she's encouraged so many young girls now to participate in sports, whether it's basketball or soccer or volleyball. My dad used to always say, the greatest thing about sports is that you learn so much about real life. You learn how to be unselfish. You learn how to be dedicated. You learn how to work hard. You learn how to win. And then you learn how to pick yourself up off the ground when you lose. And that's what life is all about. And so I just have so much respect for so many of these athletes that come along now. And as a fan, I just love it.
Hell yeah.